If you're a car content creator hunting for that next 500,000 like hit, you know the struggle is real. You need a style that instantly hooks viewers and makes them hit that share button. Right now, there's one editing technique absolutely dominating social media. I'm talking about those impossibly smooth movement car edits. Pretty sure you've seen them. The car glides like it's on rails. I'm not gonna lie, I think this guy is the one who blew it. He dropped a single edit and ranked up over 500,000 likes. The numbers don't lie. This style works. Now here's the kicker. You see these edits and think it must take a pro level of editing and hours of work, right? But that's not true. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to recreate this viral smooth movement car edits step by step. And I promise you, you will not believe how simple this is. Seriously, if you're a complete beginner, you can master this today and start blowing up your feed. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right in. First, create a new composition and change this value to 1080, this one to 920. Then set the frame rate based on your clips, which in my case is 59. Then click OK. Next, you'll need to bring your music into the timeline. Before we start, you need a song to edit your video based on its beat. This style of edit is completely reliant on that rhythmic flow. Here's a list of popular songs that perfectly match this look. You can also find them in the description down below. But since I don't want to get a copyright, I made my own music in FL Studio just to create this tutorial. Hopefully I don't get a copyright for a tutorial this time. Select your music layer and press L on your keyboard twice to reveal the waveform. Go ahead and add a marker on every beat you hear in the music. This will help you sync your visuals later. Next, drag your first clip into the timeline, and now it's time to start editing your video. The clips I use for this tutorial are from one of the greatest car videographers on social media, which you can use his clips for completely free. I put a Telegram channel link in the description if you want to use his clips. Or if you prefer to record your own car, you can copy his movements. Not gonna lie, his techniques is the best, especially for this style of edit. And in some cases, you might need to reverse your video, like in this example. Keep in mind, reversing your clip is not a part of this style. I only did it because this specific clip needed to be reversed. Just check your clip and see how it looks. If it needs it, do the same. Otherwise, skip this part. Once you're happy with your clip, right-click on it and choose Pre-Compose. Make sure the second option is selected and click OK to confirm. With your video layer selected, press Ctrl-Alt-T. This will enable time remapping and let you control the speed of your clip. Then delete the last keyframe, move over to the second marker and adjust the time remap until you're happy with it. Just remember, the key here is smooth and subtle movements, so don't go too crazy with it. Next, head over to the third marker and copy and paste the first keyframe. Then move to the next marker and do the same with the second keyframe. Using Ctrl-C, you can copy the keyframes, and using Ctrl-V, you can paste them wherever you want. Then move to the next marker and do the same with the first keyframe. So you have a stupid movement like this. Finally, select all the keyframes and press F9 to ease them. Now there's a script called Flow, and trust me, it's a lifesaver. It'll speed up your workflow like crazy. Basically, you create any curve you want, select your keyframes, hit apply button, and boom, your keyframes are instantly perfect. I've just dropped a link in the description if you want to download the Flow. And if you're feeling too lazy and don't want to use Flow, no worries. I'll show you how to do the old-fashioned way too. If you don't have Flow, no worries. Just open the graph editor, right-click, and make sure Edit Speed Graph is enabled. Then grab these points and shape a nice smooth curve, something like this. Keep this curve in mind because we're going to use the exact one for all of our keyframes in this video. It's our secret sauce. Simple, smooth, and it just works. Now if you do have Flow, here's what to do. Click on Edit Bezier Value to open this little panel. Change the first one to 0.6, the second one to 0, the third one to 0.4, and the last one to 1. Then click OK. Then all you have to do is to select the keyframes and click on Apply, and you get the exact same curve. Now if you play it back, you'll see that you've got a nice and smooth speed ramp. Alright, now let's sync this speed ramp with the beats of your music. First, select these keyframes and open the graph editor. You'll notice this little mountain peak in your speed ramp. That's the moment we're after. Move the playhead right there and drop a marker. If you don't know how to add markers, you can do it with the asterisk key on your keyboard. Then close the graph editor and line that marker up with the one you added in your timeline. Boom, perfect sync. Now this is where all the action happens. Between the first and second keyframes, the car starts to reveal. And between the second and the third, the background comes in. So here's what we're gonna do next. This is where it gets fun. Move your playhead over to the third keyframe, hit Ctrl-D to duplicate the layer, and then Ctrl-Shift-D to slice it right there. Then you can delete this layer. With that layer still selected, grab the roto brush tool, make sure the resolution is on full, and make a nice clean selection around your car. Take your time here. The cleaner the mask, the better the final result. Just keep in mind, in this example, you start by speed ramping and then use the roto brush. Because of that, there's a good chance After Effects might mess up your selection. So before clicking the freeze button, move forward and make sure your selection is still clean. Then you can click on the freeze button and wait for roto brush to analyze your car. I highly recommend you to change the feather to 15 for a smoother result. Now press S on your keyboard to reveal the scale. Move to the beginning, change the scale to 0 and add a keyframe. Then move to the second keyframe, right click and reset the scale. Select these two keyframes and apply this exact curve. Also make sure to enable motion blur. If you hide your original layer, you're getting a result like this. And it's time to work on the background layer. First, add a gradient wipe effect to the background layer. Change the softness to 40 and completion to 100. Okay, I just got a heart attack, but yeah, we're fine. Move to the second keyframe and add a keyframe for the completion. Then move to the third keyframe and change this value to 0. Press U on your keyboard to reveal these keyframes, select them and apply this exact curve. And you're done with your first clip. So now let's add another clip and keep the fun going. I'm choosing this clip as an example. You don't need to care about the markers in here anymore, just focus on the keyframes. So the other clip starts from here. Again, make sure to press Ctrl Alt F to fit the resolution with your composition. Then pre-compose this layer and press Ctrl Alt T to enable timer mapping. Move to this keyframe and start adjusting the timer map until you're satisfied. Oh yeah, make sure to delete the last keyframe. Now do that repeating thing again. You know what? Everything happens between the markers we added on our beats. So yeah, just move over there. Again, select these keyframes and apply this exact curve. And yeah, again move to the third keyframes, duplicate the layer and press Ctrl Shift D to trim that layer. While this layer is selected, select the rotor brush tool and start rotor brushing your car. Before clicking on the freeze button, make sure your selection is clean because you're doing this speed ramp and it's a huge chance After Effects mess up with your selection. For this clip, using a position keyframes works better than a scale keyframe. So select this layer and press P on your keyboard to reveal the position. Move to the beginning, move the clip off the screen and add a keyframe for the position. Then go to the next keyframe, right click and reset the position. Again, make sure to select these keyframes and apply this exact curve. Now unhide your background layer. And again, you need to add a gradient wipe effect to this layer. Change the softness to 40 and completion to 100%. I'm not sure if I'm spelling this word right, but anyways. Now add a keyframe for this, move to the other keyframe and change this value to 0. Then select these keyframes and apply this curve again. If you check it back, you'll see so far you did a pretty good job. Now the other clip is going to appear while the background of this layer is revealing. Here's what you should do. Select another clip from your clip packs and bring it into the timeline. Move to the second keyframe of this clip and this is where the third clip starts. Again, press Ctrl Alt F to fit that layer with your composition. Then right click and pre-compose this layer. Press Ctrl Alt T to enable timer mapping and delete the last keyframe. Move to the third keyframe of the previous clip and adjust the timer map until you're satisfied. Do that copy and pasting keyframe thing one more time. Then select these keyframes and apply this exact curve. One more time, move to the third keyframe of this clip, press Ctrl D to duplicate this layer and Ctrl Shift D to trim that layer. While this layer is selected, choose the rotor brush tool and create a clean selection around this car. Again, for this one, position keyframes works better than scale keyframe. So select this layer, press P on your keyboard to reveal the position, move to the beginning, and bring this video off a screen. Add a position keyframe, move to the second keyframe, and reset the position value. Select these keyframes and apply this exact curve. Again, for the background layer, apply the gradient wipe effect to this layer, change the softness to 40, and this value to 100%. Add a keyframe, go to the third keyframe, and change this value to 0. Press U on your keyboard, select these keyframes and apply this curve. I forgot to mention you need to apply motion blur on these layers. Now if you play it back, you'll see that you have a super smooth and viral car edit. Now that you've watched until the end, I have a surprise for you. I put a link in the description where you can download the project file of my latest car edit in this style completely free. You can analyze this project and use it to easily create your own version. Alright, I guess that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and I hope it was helpful. Fellas, never forget to subscribe to Adobe Simplified. See you in the next one. Bye.